Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Salt Mine. And we're here bringing you some more NA Challengers Open Qualifier content here in the GSL stage. And we're covering Group D. This is the Guangdong Flying Tigers taking on Contingent Esports here in the lower bracket Do or Die today. My name is Ferris, and today I'm joined by DBZ Freak. This is our first time casting together, my friend. I'm very excited to do this with you. Welcome. How you feeling?
I am feeling great. I'm excited for these two teams. Just like you said, there is a lot on the line here. This is an elimination game. If you win, you play the loser of the other match on D3. But this is the part where it's like we have to lock it in. We have to pull out all the stops that we can, pull out all the strategies we can, so that way our lives stay alive in this tournament to continue on. Because, man, I know we're all looking forward to playoffs, because that grand final spot is the spot that everyone's gunning for, because there's so much on the line.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to mention there, DBZ, is, you want to accumulate as much points as you possibly can to try and qualify for that NA Challengers Gauntlet. Now, there's
Mhm.
some teams that are at the very top and they seem like the front runners here, but the caveat is, like you said, DBZ, if you win this qualifier, you automatically qualify regardless of the points that you've accumulated through the two qualifiers. So winning is absolutely everything, not only for your points and your team's reputation, but if you can get that grand final victory, then your chances are up to 100% and you're into the gauntlet. So again, looking a little far forward there, but it all starts here with this matchup. And one of these teams, DBZ, they're going home.
Yeah, man, it's sad to see. You definitely don't want to see these teams go home, but you want these teams to play as best as they can. As mentioned, pull up all the stops. And I believe we are going to go into draft here soon, which I'm pretty excited for, which I was going to segue a little bit into, like, champion picks right now at this stage of the game. The picks are altering, and I can say that with confidence having watched LEC today. We are seeing the rotation of Smolder to the mid lane, which is very spicy within in itself. We're seeing that less Tristana, and then you have teams also like Mad Lions that will pick triple ADC comps and somehow win against G2 today. So that's gonna be interesting if these teams will decide to adapt those kind of strategies going into today. I mean, I'm excited regardless, however, which way that the things decide to go today. We are just looking forward to just some mind-blowing games, and I'm excited to see what these two teams can do. Every team obviously has their own special talent, special players, special strategies that they like to whip out. So from here, what are you looking forward to for us? Let's go back to you. What are you looking most forward to?
Well, the last time that I was here on the salt mine, I casted the Guangdong Flying Tigers against Reluminate, and Guangdong was the
Hmm.
favored team heading into that series. They finished 4-1 in the Swiss stage, and it was 3-2 for Reluminate, but it was actually Reluminate who ended up getting that win. In the first game of that series was an absolute fist fight. It was constant fighting. It was lots of marksman champions all over the place in the mid lane,
Hmm.
in the bot lane, of course, and it was really crazy. Then the next games were absolute stomps. So as for predictions, I'm really ready just to react to what actually happens here, because I feel like with the way that GFT played in their last series, anything may go. Now, they may have patched some things up and went back to the drawing board. At least I would hope that they did after that loss that they suffered, and ready to pull out some stuff here today. And we are going to head into the draft. And just before, I just want to shout out the players here. Let's talk about the rosters. For GFT, the starting lineup is Sunlight in the top lane, Evan Lai in the jungle, Elias, Altio, and Realms. And for Contingent, we have Sandflame in the top lane, Wenwin in the jungle, Titan in the mid lane, War Cyclone, and Miracle for your Contingent bot lane.
Yep. And as we are slowly getting into draft right now, we're seeing, your classic bands, the brand being taken off the table, the smolder being taken off the table. Now, Shyvana is actually a new one. She's kind of randomly risen in priority with her AP build. I guess it's definitely been interesting seeing that, especially outside of Aaron, but the Iron being taken away is not surprising. We're drafting really quick. I will say Aurora being the first pick, which she's broke. That is all I will say about that. Then we have Rumble and Ezreal as the answer. So from here, I do think that we're gonna pick our AD carry. I was kind of thinking along that side. The Jhin is very interesting to me, and taking the Karma away from the Ezreal makes the most sense.
Absolutely. Very strong pairing. And I'm surprised that Aurora made it through the pick ban phase. She's been
Hmm.
being played in pro play, in the mid lane, in the top lane as well. So this could be a flex pick here for GFT. She's very strong, as new champions typically are, even after that first set of nerfs that came through on patch 14.15. Definitely something that is going to be a power pick here for the GFT side. And yeah, the karma denial here from the Ezreal is going to be smart. So we actually have a blank pick here. We'll get info on what that pick is. I can see our producer is going to let us know very soon as to what that is actually going to be. But we have, with these last two picks here for GFT,
Wow.
quite the frontline heavy composition. My goodness. That is going to be, quite the hell of a front to back roster here. The one thing is they kind of lack a little bit of DPS here, DBZ.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I think I heard Blitzcrank is what I just heard as the pick. Oh no, Bard. Okay, so Bard was actually the pick that we missed there. So it's Ezreal Bard there in the bottom lane, and yeah, like you were saying, there is a lot of we are going to run at you on the side of Guangdong as we see the Zac and the Mundo who will literally run at you full force with the Karma behind them, speeding them up as well. And then Aurora goes for the one shot, and Jin goes for the cleanup. So I really like the Flying Tigers draft. On the opposite side, Contingent having the Rumble, the Ezreal, the Bard, as mentioned, that was the blank spot, and Jace in the mid lane. That's going to be spicy. I'm not entirely familiar with the Aurora Jace matchup, so I'm expecting that to be pretty explosive based on what I've seen from this Aurora so far. It should go in her favor since I would think that she has the more burst potential, unless the Chase ends up getting ahead. So keep an eye on that as we get into game. And then Jin Karma, gotta love the Ezreal Karma denial. So I do respect the Flying Tigers for picking that up. Bard can be an annoyance with that within himself. So if there is, it's going to be a pretty skirmish heavy, I think, in the bottom lane with Ezreal and Bard going for as much poke as they can. But I am excited. These two drafts are spicy, and I did say let's lay it all out on the table.
Yeah, you did. And what I am very interested to see is how much value can Contingent get from this Sejuani pick, because you have a Rumble who's going to naturally have priority over the Mundo in the lane phase, and you also have Jace, who in hammer form is melee, and those melee champions work so well with Sejuani. The Ezreal is also a very lane dominant champion. Now against the Jin Karma, it can be a little bit more difficult. They have the range to deal with him. They have the poke to contest him on those waves, but I expect a very full throttle early game here from Contingent. They have champions that really like to play in that early game. Sejuani, she is a tank. She's not your Nidalee who's permanent invading the jungle, but she has strong synergies here early on. And a champion like Zac takes a little while to pick up steam. So for Contingent, I feel like their win condition right now is to try and steamroll that early game, put the Zac behind, and start to snowball through their mid and top synergy with their jungler.
I definitely agree. So, just a couple of things. So, one, we are in a pause in the game, so we're gonna take a hot second and kind of continue yapping about the draft. Now, this is the part at the end where I mentioned about the little Dragon Soul game, because I'm not gonna let us forget that one. So, the basic rules of this game are you just pick whatever Dragon Soul you think it's going to be before before the soul spawns. There's really no incentive to winning; it's just mainly bragging rights. And then if your Drake is the first one that's at the start of the game, you get what's called Dragon Pit of Shamed.
Oh man. Well, I mean, can I make my prediction now then?
Yes.
Can I go first? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go Cloud. I'm going to say it's going to be a Cloud Soul. You know what? It's just speaking to me right now. Maybe it's there's no wind in my room. I was going to say it's the wind blowing through my hands. I don't have a fan going. I don't know what's speaking to me about Cloud Soul, but that's my prediction, DBZ. Cloud Soul is what it's going to be.
Fair, definitely. Actually, one day I should do like a chat prediction thing for like who gets like bragging rights. I should
Yeah,
try
like a
that one day.
poll.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty sick one day. But for me, I'm expecting a lot of damagi, as I like to say. How I like to say damage weirdly sometimes. I'm expecting a lot of damage out of both these teams. So I'm gonna go Infernal Soul, because that would be absolutely hilarious to watch. From here, it's almost game time, baby. We're about to go in. It's almost
It's
time.
almost game time. Absolutely. So
Oh,
there's
there's a
still
pause. Never
pause.
mind.
We're very close. Yeah, it's a typical thing. We always get those early pauses, gives us some time to talk more about the drafts here. So I was talking about how much Contingent should play for that early presence here. And I also slightly mentioned how I'm worried a little bit about GFT's actual damage output. It's very burst reliant. There's the
Mhm.
Zac that will go in and you'll combine Aurora's burst. Jin isn't very DPS focused. He has those 4 shots, and then the 4th shot, your ultimate with Curtain Call. My worry is, if they don't find that engage that they want, because things don't always pan out the way that you want them to,
True.
can they find enough damage in these fights to actually be able to withstand the DPS coming out from an Ezreal? And honestly, on the other side, Contingent, they have an Ezreal for DPS. The other champions, they're still a little bit burst reliant. Rumble has the equalizer. Flame Spitter has a cooldown there. Jace likes to go in after a shock blast and wreck your HP bar. So this is kind of the thing I'm thinking about with these fights here, DBZ, is can Guangdong get value from their engage, which is this Zac, and there really isn't a whole lot of other engage options here on their team.
No, which is why I'm actually low-key expecting this Zac to want to play as far away from the Sejuani as possible. So this way he can't be bullied in the early game by her. And I'm wondering if they are going to spread some attention to this mid lane, because I imagine once Jace hits a certain point, maybe like half an item, the matchup becomes like a bit more in his favor naturally, since Aurora is kind of a glass cannon from what I've seen so far. So I'm pretty sure that that's probably the game plan that they're thinking, and I'm anticipating that as we eventually going to get into game, as we are being typed to right now. But from it's going to be spicy, and I 100% agree with you. There's a lot more poke on the side of Contingent. Just Guangdong have to be in a position to where they can start those fights on their terms. They can, just kind of send it off and then blow someone up and then get absolutely nothing taken from them. So those are the plays that we're going to have to look for. And we have got an update on the pause, is that a player is having some internet issues right now. So we're just waiting on that to get resolved before we go into game. And I guess until that comes back, we can go ahead and cut to a break if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So while we wait for the player's router to come back, we will cut to a short break. But when we come back, it is Contingent Esports, it is Guangdong Flying Tigers, it is the lower bracket, do or die between these teams. Game 1 coming up soon. Here we are into game number 1. Thank you for being patient, everyone. And we are finally into the game after what feels like an unavoidable pause. We always get those pauses, DBZ. We're kind of used to it at this point, but people need to figure out their issues, and that's a necessity here for us to get a quality game. And so it's all figured out. We're back into game. If you're just joining us here on the Salt Mine stream here today, this is GSL stage of the NA Challengers Open Qualifier. And it is Group D, lower bracket elimination game between Contingent Esports and the Guangdong Flying Tigers, as we have ourselves a pretty relaxed start for the moment. We don't see anyone stacking, going for any type of invades, any type of wards on the map just yet. So we get a little bit of a chill start here at that 1 minute mark.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Miracle didn't put a ward down on the red buff, but however, that did force Karma to use the sweeper there, so maybe a little bit of a big brain move on that one. But, like you said, we're chilling. It's a little quiet right now. Not really too aggressive postures are being taken. That's probably where the pause happened, so now we're back live. We're back, baby. All right.
Oh, we're back, and we're getting some trading here. Miracle and Realm's going to trade some damage, and War Cyclone's Mystic Shot hits Realms, and so it's an HP advantage off rip here for the Contingent bot lane. And that's exactly what you want, DBZ. When you're playing the Ezreal, you want to play as aggressive as possible, utilize that early damage that you have, and play with your range. And if your opponents are under tower, especially when you have more of a poke-styled support like the Bard, then that's going to feel really good. And look at that. Early trading here on the bot side. I think you said, DBZ, you're ready to see some slugfest here in the bot side as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what you got to do. Bard, going for those cheeky little stuns, almost getting that one, just was able to walk away from the minion, so Altio will be spared from that. But it's just be aggressive. Obviously, it's going to get to a point where they're going to use a lot more mana, as actually, I'm surprised Bard hit level 2 there first, and now Ezreal ends up hitting at level 2. Actually, the Chime is why, so never mind, that's entirely why. But as we're getting some trading, level 2s are now being hit down here.
Lands. Altio and Realms both hit level 2. The root is actually going to land. Summoner's still here.
Oh, no.
Cyclone uses that barrier to conserve that HP on the 4th shot.
Ooh-wee, Guangdong getting a little too hypey there. Once those level 2s were hit, a lot of damage traded back and forth. The Ignite was burned. The heal also down as well. Same on the other side. I believe that's a barrier on the Ezreal, so woo! We're getting a little spicy here in the first couple of minutes of this game. Expecting more of that as we go on, as the Rumble matchup going exactly as you predicted. And I kind of want to say, like, I'm surprised we're about 3 minutes into the game right now, and neither jungler they're just about done rather with their camps now, and it's just we're getting to a point where it's like these matchups are getting a little volatile, and we should probably start getting some attention down here as we see the Zac now going into his Krugs once again. Ezreal, Jhin, Bard keeping away. They're holding their spells, and when the trading starts is when everything starts getting thrown off. And I do believe
very far forward here. Gonna land some damage now onto Miracle. Altio and Realms are playing very aggressive right now. Deadly Flourish just goes wide here. 4th shot lands. More Cyclone still with a little bit of HP to play with. And Evan Lai is here, and Cyclone and Miracle will both see. Now, the problem is, here, DBZ, is Cyclone has no barrier. He has no mana. He does have Flash available, but it's simply too dangerous to stay underneath this tower, and this wave is crashing here in the bot side. So this is going to give them a early gold advantage, but now Evan Lai will look for the dive. The slingshot here will land. He's going to pull him in with the minion, and first blood there. Altio off the CC grabs that first kill for Guangdong Flying Tigers.
Ooh, the max range on that grab. Even Fi able to grab, or even Lai, my apologies, able to grab Miracle there and just give the Jhin over the first blood, and that's huge. It's like you were saying, they had to get ahead early.
Oh my goodness! Flash forward, Sandflame with the solo kill, knows his damage well and utilizes that ignite perfectly.
Oh my Atlanta, I was not even expecting that. I don't even think Sunlight was expecting that either. Just pretty much 100-0 on that play. Just the Flame Splitter plus the Ignite doing way more damage than I ever expected. And Sandflame just barely living what I think was like 100 HP and just being spared from the tower. And that's a good start here as Realms is here mid.
Raiden is in trouble. Now Elias dropping very low here. Realms finds the root. They should be able to walk this one out. Is Titan going to trade some damage back onto Realms? The Jace is 2v1.
Bard's here.
Yes, who's here? The Cavalry's arrived. It's Miracle. The stun will not land. Elias will walk out of this one. Realms does have Flash. Going to utilize that to get out. And Wenwen now joins the party, but so does Evan Lai. Flash burned here from Titan, and the pull will not be enough. Can't quite get in range to finish that one off. Wenwen now with this root that's being channeled by Elias with the flash forward, is able to finish out the first kill to fight. Wenwen trying to trade this one back, is going to flash forward. The Aftershock proc will land, in the Arctic Assault will get a second kill here. Now they're looking onto Evan Lai, who does have his passive available, will drop to that Ignite, which was ticking, and will resurrect himself, but it is a 2-for-1 for Contingent in the mid lane.
What an absolute psychopath play from Elias there to flash forward, ends up getting a kill. It just was an insane fight from start to finish. I mean, kills going everywhere. So crucially, a kill does go over to the Sejuani. I have to say, Aurora getting a kill at the end of that fight is huge as well. The gold lead is 800, however, in favor of Contingency, so they're feeling pretty good about the end of that fight as we're getting a took at the gold. 800 in the top lane, about 300-ish. Oh, actually, hold on a second.
Elias hits level 6. Now the knockback there from Titan will keep Evan Lai at bay, and remember, no passive here. The Permafrost almost... He can't quite get the stun, though, and Evan Lai will be able to waltz away with his life. It gets scary in the mid lane. Excellent counter engage there from Miracle and Wenwen to save their mid laner.
Oh man, even Evan Light almost going down there. This does give access to the grubs, however, to contingencies, so I don't anticipate there'll be any contest. No, it does not look like it, as Zach is headed to the bottom side. Now, Water Cyclone is potentially diveable here. Not level 6 yet. Don't think too much will come out of this. As the Karma Q will not land. So nope, I think they will just go ahead and decide to back off, as the third grub is currently being taken on the top side. Usually at this point you would see a dragon contest, or a dragon trade rather, but does not look like that. Even Evan Light is going to be going for it, as now will be making a reappearance here in the bottom lane. Is spotted on a ward though, and Bard is close by. So I do think this is a play that they would not want to go for, as they will clear out this vision. But
At the very least, if they go into Miracle, he has no summoner spells available. War Cyclone has the barrier, has the flash, but Evan Lai going to migrate over towards that mid side, clearing away some vision, knows that Wenwen is on the opposite side of the map, just cleared away the grubs, and might have been spotted on that vision up there in the top side. But let's give a quick update to our Dragon Soul game here, DBZ. It's a Ocean Drake here to kick us off. So you and I are both still good to go here. Both of our souls are still possible. So we'll wait to see, and after that first dragon is taken, what's actually going to happen here. As Sunlight now Ignite is ticking, that healing's going to be reduced.
Wow.
The damage is more than there. And Sandflame in the top lane, 30 CS and 2 kills ahead. This is going exactly the way that Contingent want.
oh yeah, you got a Rumble getting strong, currently getting tower plates right now. I think he got one right before we came down here for Drake, which is currently going to be traded on the other side, which I think that's okay, more or less. You're getting the Drake, obviously, in the trade, but in the grand scheme of things, Mundo is kind of going to be weak side. You don't want him to be, like, terribly left alone, so I think maybe we start getting a little bit of attention up towards that way, as there's been, you know, a couple return trips by the jungler in this instance, with that being the first. But Elias here farming up pretty well. The CS is even, which I'm actually surprised about, but at the same time you do have to be worried about that all-in potential from Titan. Just Jace can absolutely 100 to 0. Doesn't have the Dirk as of yet, but looks like we're going towards that Mana Moon at first, as Roams will be stunned up. We'll make it here to the bottom lane. We haven't really spent like too much time down here ever since all the action has been happening around the map. So it's kind of interesting to see just how the bottom lane matchup is still somewhat even, as Sunlight is standing on a ward here. I think Sandflame trying not to give too much away. Wenwen is going to the other side of the map. But nope, we'll just walk back up here, slap some minions around. We're just kind of slowing it down.
Yeah, but the thing is, right now, it's a massive problem for GFT, is this top side. You know, Sandflame is monstrously ahead. And how do you help him out, really? Because if you send your jungler up there, you might lose a 2v2. And now we're going to see a Tempered Fate come through, and Altio is hit. Are they going to combine the Glacial Prison? It's going to be mistimed. Either mistimed or Altio timed the flash correctly. Whatever way you want to put it, Altio gets out of that one, does have to commit that Summoner spell, and could prove detrimental if Wenwen wants to make a return gank later on. Now going back to the Grubs, or sorry, not the Grubs, the Gromp. 2G names got him a little mixed up. But back to my earlier point, yeah, the Rumble here is a huge problem, and I honestly don't know how you deal with it right now if you are a GFT, because he's simply too strong to give Mundo that attention, especially if Wenwen or even Titan with Unleashed Teleport wants to get involved in the play. As GFT, even in a 3v3 scenario, it gets very hard for you to salvage this Dr. Mundo, because they are straight up stronger. In the 3v3, it's 30 CS, it's 2 kills. I'm very interested to see how they want to deal with this going forward, because right now, this is a huge win condition to play through for Contingent at the moment.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. Hold on, we got a little bit of cheekiness happening here, as Miracle is walking through the area, not spotted on any vision as of yet, but the ward was spotted, so not too much to come out of that. But I was gonna say there's a couple. Oh, hold that thought, never mind.
Wenwen's going here onto Realms, and now Evan Lai with the Elastic Slingshot, gonna find a nice engage, but an excellent stun is going to stop the advance here for now from GFT. Now Miracle gonna force to be flashed away from the Beyond Worlds here. And Miracle is going to get out of this one, and the skirmish ends there. But this is all for the Grubs, DBZ, and Wenwen and Gang here with Sandflame. They feel like they're strong enough to start this.
Yeah, the Rumble ultimate is still up, and then with the threat of that, you can't really walk up. And you had two ultimates, the Zac ultimate and the Aurora ultimate that were blown in the previous fight. As wait a minute,
War Cyclone using the Arcane Shift to get away, using the Happy Feet here on all those shots, and not a single shot from the Curtain Call landed. Titan waltzes his way out of this one, and showing off why they are some of the best players in North America with those Happy Feet.
Woo. Wow. That's some top clicking right there. Because honestly, if that's me, I'm getting hit by all of those. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, all of those are hitting me. But so nothing really comes out of that play. There were no summoners burned either. That does mean the Jin ultimate might be down for this next dragon fight. I think it's close. It's like 100. I think it's like 120 something seconds. As Miracle here might.
Miracle has found Evan Lai. The elastic slingshot lands, but Tenford Fate
Oh
onto two will stop the follow up here. And flashing forward is Titan. The True Shot Barrage will run through three people. Remember, Ultio, no flash. And War Cyclone will grab that kill. It is a 1-for-1, and does a play continue here? When fishing for something over the wall, can use the Arctic Assault, and the Glacial Prison will just miss. Elias there, who uses Across the Veil to get over the wall to safety. That was close to disaster. Did have flash, but I mean, honestly, held his ground there on like 1 pixel away from getting hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that whole sequence of events started out kind of weirdly because they saw Evan Lai in the bush there, but they were not anticipating the bottom lane being on the other side, so they were forced to have to react. And by God, did they react semi-accordingly. Ultio does end up going down, and then it's just kind of a running game from there. Just lots of damage coming out of the Jace and the Ezreal right now, as Miracle might be caught here. Nope, it does end up getting out of situation. Never mind.
Realms are by themselves. There's Evan Lai is far away from them, so no help is on the way. And Miracle will pick up that kill number 1. Do they fancy themselves a redive? Well, not for the moment, because Elias is caught out here inside of that jungle. Titan will land that shock blast. They will just poke at Elias's HP bar, and now it's time for Contingent to play for this dragon. They have the man advantage, and I don't think GFP are in a position to contest this unless Evan Lai jumps over the wall with the elastic slingshot and finds himself one of those cheeky steals we know Zac is capable of. But the hold here of the bot side from Contingent is going for it. Evan Lai looked, but he was a little bit too late. Curtain Call is going to be channeled, but when Smite will reign true, and this will be the Hex Tech Drake claims. And oh my gosh, it's a Mountain Soul. We were close here. You know what? We didn't get the shame here, DBZ. Like, we were close. It was either Mountain, it was either Cloud, or Infernal, or Chemtech, actually. But yeah, both of us, better luck next time.
Yep, nope, definitely better luck next time. Can we also comment real quick that the CS numbers, as a Samflame is almost 50 CS up on to Sunlight, 45 CS right now. But goodness gracious, that is a 1,600 gold lead. It's getting a little concerning, I have to say, crossing into the mid game at this moment. This Rumble is going to be the difference maker in these fights. And it's at that point where you probably should 5-man this Rumble if you're gonna try to kill him, because even then, you know, Rumble might still take 2, as we're gonna dive Sunlight again.
Sunlight's going to use the ultimate here to try and heal up as best as he can. There's the Glacial Prison now, and the Equalizer will fall as well. There's more than enough damage. It's the easiest kills of their life here on the top side. The wave will be denied. The tower will be taken, but it's actually Ultio who grabs first tower of the game on the other side of the map. Remember, when you overload one side of the map, someone else on your team is going to suffer, and that person is War Cyclone. Has to play off the tower to prevent himself from dying, and the first tower doesn't go to Contingent critically.
Yeah, I guess you would be semi-okay with that, considering that is first tower that you did deny at the end of that kill. With this Mundo being 0-3 now, not worth as much gold as before, so I think you're like, all right, we get first tower in trade, that's the play, that's fine. It does, however, once again, this 3-0 Rumble, who's already halfway towards that Blackfire touch, this is going to be a very, very strong Rumble, as we're 15 minutes into the game. We got a lot of first items coming through at the moment. Actually, just a number finishing up and starting on the second. But ooh-wee, gold is not where it needs to be on the side of GFT right now. Hoping that this Mundo can bounce back. We're only in the mid game. It could be a long game, but from here, it's just going to be difficult.
Now the Rift Herald's being started by Contingent. They want to utilize this objective here, likely to crack the mid lane open so that they can start to play more aggressively with the lead that they have. But the whole team of GFT is surrounding the area. They have Altio brought up from bot lane, and right now Titan is in the bot side of the map right now with Unleashed Teleport available, and GFT have control over this objective for the moment, but Shelly is going to regenerate that HP and say, get out of my pit, guys. I'm not going to be taken just yet. I want to see you guys fight to the death in front of my eyes before any of you are going to be taking me. And that's exactly what we might get here at DBZ, as more pressure applied in the mid lane by Contingent. It's a vision game for control of this Rift Herald, and Contingent takes that river back.
Interesting. Yeah, all this vision is going to end up being cleared out, as Evan Lai did end up going down. I guess they're choosing to concede the Rift Herald, probably with Sandflame being there, and with how the prime position they are, they realize they can't really fight this, which I understand, and you don't want to blow any major summoners before this Drake in about a minute and a half. So I think I understand the call here. Give that up. They're most likely going to drop it by the time Drake spawns anyways, so just kind of give yourself a little bit of time, or catch the Bard out.
Miracle gonna get away with that magical journey. And that's a magical life-saving journey there. The Deadly Flourish doesn't land, and the Bard will walk away from this one. So, like I said, they're gonna try and crack that mid lane. They're gonna summon the Herald here. No one's gonna ride it, though. They do have 6 grubs, so riding the Herald is extremely valuable because you get all those Void Mites that are spawning, but nonetheless, they crack the tower, root down onto Sandflame, and the Rift Herald will fall, but it is Contingent who got what they came for, and now the next play here in a minute's time is that first Mountain Drake of the game.
Yeah. First Mountain Drake of the game in 46 seconds. So that was more of a show of brute force that I would say as Contingent is calling them their bluff, saying, we know that you can't fight us right now, so we are going to break open this mid tower, gain some more control on this bottom side of the map. As this Drake is spawned in the next 30, we see lots of movement going down that way. Got one ward right now at the moment. I believe there is a pink in the bush on the side, and here we go. You know, they're just scanning out this vision. They're making sure that they can go for this probably aggressive play that they're setting up for, as Elias does have the ultimate, is an item and a half. Probably wouldn't beat this Rumble, but oh my goodness.
Definitely wouldn't beat the Rumble if the rest of the gang show up, but that magical journey was a little short. It buys Elias some time here to teleport here with the Between Worlds over to safety. Gonna flash away from that Shock Blast there from Titan, who did join the play using the Unleashed Teleport, and Sunlight as well committed that Summoner spell too. So Elias does have Unleashed Teleport, channeling the Recall now to join back in this play. But Guangdong Flying Tigers don't necessarily have to contest this, but it looks like they want to. They have committed Elias's teleport. So with that, it shows us that they do want to try and fight for this Mountain Drake. They feel that they are strong enough. War Cyclone getting very aggressive here in the mid lane. Now Wenwen is here to join the party. They're going to force Realms Flash, but here comes the Temper Fate. It's going to land on absolutely nobody. Those briefcases from Sunlight aren't quite going to land. Realms is poked out here. Sunlight trying to tank up inside of the front line, but there's simply no follow-up for the moment. But here comes Evan with the Elastic Slingshot, and this engage is perfect. Here comes the current call as well. That's 2 kills now immediately for GFT, and Sunlight taking up the tower. They're going to try and find the shutdown on the Sandflame. They get it! And this is a huge play for GFT. They're right back into this game now. They want to continue to play going forward. Deadly Flourish will land onto War Cyclone and around the tier 2. Ultio flashes away. That tower did so much damage. The Shock Blast will be tanked here by Sunlight. Titan wants to heat check, but he's not going to have the damage. And Ultio gets another kill. And this is exactly what GFT needed to bring themselves right back in it.
So they managed to stop the Drake. The Rumble ultimate was down, and that's what prevented them from fighting over it. So they go ahead and peel off. But man, I thought that fight was risky to start, but once they all clumped together, Evan Lai was able to get a 3 or 4 man ultimate out of that play. There were so many close moments, and it was insane. Every flash was blown except Evan Lai and Miracles. But we're just... that was insane. Just that was incredible. And they end up getting the Mountain Drake in the end. The gold lead did close to about 600 now. Man, oh man, for us, we're in for a banger of a series.
We are, and look at the lead that Jin now has over War Cyclone. This Jin is very strong, has the Infinity Edge completed, gonna bypass the rapid fire cannon purchase and go straight for that armor penetration. I think that is smart. You want to be able to eat through Wenwen's health bar as quickly as you can so that you can start hitting those backline members. Let's pay attention to Evan Lai, finds the smite onto the red buff, not gonna have that one stolen away. And a potential play here is going to happen onto Sunlight, who is running away from that tower. The Glacial Prison will not connect because the passive here from Sunlight protects him. Maybe a miscalculation there from Wenwen. Maybe thought that the Mundo did not have that. But the response here is going to be the Baron, and they are burning this one. This is an excellent heads-up play from GFT. The True Shot Barrage will scout out that they're doing it. They don't do it very quickly. Remember, Jin doesn't have a whole lot of DPS, but it looks like they're going to try and finish this before Contingent gets here. They're trying to actually pull off of it now. The Tempered Fate will land. It will conserve the Baron's HP bar here as Evan Lai going to get out with that Elastic Slingshot, but there's going to do so much damage here. Look at the poke, look at the Mystic Shots, and the HP from the Baron was saved there by the Tempered Fate, so now it's Contingent that can turn onto this. They secure it, but here comes the fight. Evan Lai with a massive engage, then the Beyond Worlds is huge. This is 2 kills now for Contingent, 1 traded back from Titan, but this fight is going all the way of GFT. The Ignite goes down, and Miracle over the wall is going to kill off Elias, going to use the Blast Cone now to try and space himself between Evan Lai, and the stun lands, and so he should be able to walk this one out, then save his Baron buff with the Magical Journey. What a sequence we have just seen unfold here, DBZ.
Where do we even begin with that play? Oh my god. Sunlight, they went to go for the play on Sunlight, and it just got so crazy so quickly. GFT decides to go for the Baron, but they have to peel off. They sort of tried to go for the turn, but then Contingent comes in and they basically leash the Baron for them. And just boom, Jamie got the Baron. It's like, wait, what just happened? Did everyone on Contingent dies? What just happened, man? This game's insane.
It is, and it looks like Contingent was starting to run away with it, but after these last 2 plays, we can start to see the power of the composition that GFT have drafted. When they have those optimal engages with Evan Lai, they combine it with Curtain Call. It's an excellent combination, and it also really helps them to buy themselves the space that they need to get in range of these high-range champions like the Jace and the Ezreal here. And so GFT have a well-defined win condition in these fights, so we're gonna have to see how Contingent plays around these fights that GFT have been able to get. They have to try and avoid that all-in that GFT has in their arsenal. And now they're going to invade down here on the bot side. They're going to set up some vision here. Drake in a minute 45, so they're being a little bit preemptive with this, but you can never really be too early for it. And Evan Lai now has to walk into a dark jungle to clear away this minion, and is going to now scout out the area. I don't think we're going to find ourselves in a skirmish situation for the moment, but critically the Baron did go to Contingent, and Miracle still has that buff, so they can still utilize those Baron empowered minions, so as long as the Bard is with the team that is making the push. It looks like right now, with control of the bot side, they're looking to siege this bot lane tier 2 with no real response available for GFT on the other side.
Minute 10 away from this next Drake. There is a lot of darkness for the side of GFT. So at this present time, like, it's kind of risky for them to walk in, and really the only one who can walk in is the Mundo, but is on the bottom side of the map. So they have to make risky, almost risky plays like this. I thought for a hot moment their Contingent was gonna make a play off of that, but actually I understand why they didn't. So they will go ahead, secure the Scuttle Crab, save their resources for this Drake fight. This will be soul point if GFT end up getting it, but if Contingent get it, then that would, delay the game further, and we were looking at potentially 10 to 15 more minutes of gameplay, but not too much was gained off that Baron. Looks like we will get the top tier 2, and that will go ahead and go down 700 gold to this Jace. You're gonna like that, especially depending on whatever third item that Titan has decided to go for here. It's pretty much the burst build as expected with the opportunity, the Mana Mune, and then another Dirk on the side of that. Probably gonna be Yomu's as well, so that way you can beeline his way to Ultio. But from here, we're just chilling. 4 seconds till the Drake. We're getting positions. We have vision being laid down. This is gonna be something.
It's going to be something. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Arcane shift forward here. Now, War Cyclone has to commit the flash to get away from Evan Lai's Elastic Slingshot, and the pull-in is going to avoid from the Deadly Flourish, and the fight will kick off now. It's going to be Contingent here with the first kill of the game. Samflame going to flash back towards his redemption. The healing's going to happen. And over the wall goes War Cyclone, but he will fall to his ADC counterpart, and now the fight is looking all Guangdong Flying, Tiger, Sandflame, and Miracle forced to try and run away from their pursuers, but they're not going to do so very effectively. That briefcase is going to slow down Sandflame. Doesn't quite have the damage to get rid of a Elias. Magical Journey taken here from Sunlight, but Miracle is far away. And once again, GFT are on top. They can take these towers. They can go back to the Mountain Drake. They have everything they need right now.
They absolutely do have everything they need. It's just the way Ultio has played these fights. I thought 100% that Ultio had misstepped, but he's like, ah ha ha, nope.
Deadly Flourish just misses close.
Just barely. But anyways, you know, Ultio's like, nope, you didn't get me, and the rest of his team just goes for the collapse. These Zac ultimates have been absolutely crazy and causing disruption during these fights. Then Ultio able to dish out the deeps from the back, Elias doing Aurora things. It's incredible how these team fights, oh wow, that was a lot of damage, but it's incredible how intense these fights have been played out, as they will secure the Mountain Drake that will put them on Soul Point. They're feeling very good. You got a 6-1 Jhin, a 5-2 Aurora, and I told you, look at Sunlight. Sunlight's back, baby. Sunlight is back, getting 2.5 items at this point in the game, doing work for his team in these fights. 43 seconds to the Baron. It's anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I do have to give the edge. I mean, we're even in gold, but the way the fights have been going right now, it's been so good for GFT. You can really see how difficult it is to avoid their engage when Aurora's ultimate is placed in the middle of the lane. You have so many people from Contingent that are trapped inside of the zone, and it becomes very difficult to avoid the engage here from Evan Lai. When getting aggressive, the Permafrost lands, but I think Zac is going to be okay for the moment, but hold on a second. The CC is going to land. They're doing a lot of damage, but the healing is here. Evan Lai's in trouble. Does he have the passive? It doesn't look, or he does actually, fails the flash over the wall. Now they just have to hit these blobs to finish off the kill, but they're teleporting onto the blobs to keep him alive. This is an absolute grudge fight here inside of the jungle, and it looks like it's going to be the re-engage here from GFT. The healing from Sunlight is good to keep himself going and chugging along here in the front line. Evan Lai going to follow up, find the CC onto Miracle, and Ultio is godlike in this game, coming right back from what looked like a really dark spot in the early game. They now look towards their second Baron, and does Contingent have anything left in the tank to contest this one? It is 3v5 for the moment. War Cyclone gonna land a little bit of poke here. Those Mystic shots, those Essence blocks. You're gonna use the Arcane Chip to get back. Uses that barrier, but it's not going to be enough, and Titan will fall as well. When the only one left standing, they're going to pursue him down the lane, but now they might just push for the end here, DBZ.
I don't blame them. The death timers are long enough. Jason Ezreal's are the longest, but you will have Bard and this Rumble up with Sejuani as well. It's gonna be close. I'm not entirely sure.
They're gonna full commit for it. Wenwin is trying to do his very best to deny them here in the front line. Sunlight hitting onto these turrets. It's the first kill of the fight here for Contingent. Evan Lai trying to take him for as long as he possibly can. He does not have that passive, so he will drop soon, but the kills are going the way of the Guangdong Flying Tigers. Now they only have to hit the Nexus here. They're hitting on to Miracle, who is going to drop right in front of that Fountain. Deadly Flourish does land. All they have to do is hit that Nexus. That is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And what a comeback here. It wasn't that big of a lead, I'll be honest. It was a lead here for Contingent in the early stage of the game. The top side looked good, but man, DBZ, those team fights from GFT, those were killer.
Those were insane team fights. The target selection was perfect, and they played out exactly how we both said it would. They were going for you. We have to blow them up quickly, and they would blow them up quickly, especially when you had Jhin as far ahead as he was that assisted with that. But goodness gracious, and props to Sunlight for keeping the cool head that entire game. Was just bullied from the start to the mid game, ends up coming back and being that frontline that they needed. Is it a universe we get 2 more games exactly like this? This is incredible.
I mean, it totally could be. You know, Contingent, they had the lead, like I've said so many times, and the team fighting prowess here from GFT really shined. So honestly, I don't really know what those adaptations might end up being there for game 2 for them. Maybe an Aurora ban. It seemed to be very difficult to get out of that area that Aurora can zone you into with her ultimate. But for the moment, we are going to cut to a break after that very intense game number 1 for Contingent. It's their backs against the wall. They're looking to tie up the series, set us to a game 3. And for Guangdong Flying Tigers, they're going to try and put them in the dirt while they're down. And we're going to see what happens when we come back after this break. Don't go anywhere. And we are back for game number 2. This is Contingent Esports versus Guangdong Flying Tigers here in the NA Challenger Open Qualifier number 2, the GSL stage. This is Group D, lower bracket elimination series, and it was GFT that took game number 1. And so Contingent Esports backs against the wall here, hoping to force a game number 3. Here, if you're just joining the broadcast today, this is the Salt Mine. My name is Ferris. I'm joined by DBZ Freak. And we are going to be very excited to bring you game number 2 here. What are we thinking for adaptations for Contingent this time around, DBZ? What do you think went wrong for them last time around?
Well, I guess they did not have a good answer to the team fights. Now, if you are new to this, NACL Okies this year are doing Fearless, which is why
That's
those
right.
champions down there, you can't pick those again. No, no, no. No one can pick them. So instead, we'll have new bans. Looks like we're going to go ahead and get the first pick, Lucian, which I'm actually surprised about. That can be either, flexible in the bottom lane or in the mid lane, most likely in the middle lane. And then we're going to get the Maokai answer into that along with the Zeri as well. Zeri, I watched Zeri do some pretty disgusting things in the Cloud9 game today, so excited to see what that champion will do as we have the brand lock in, the classic brand jungle as of this point, because I only say classic now because
It's a classic.
it's a classic, but as we know, when we have the Nami picked up, so this implies that it is Illusion bot lane. It still can be Illusion mid lane. We'll just go ahead and wait and hold that thought for just a little bit of time. And then we have the Darius locked in as well. Woo! We're spicy.
Yeah, Darius is very much not a pick I was expecting to see in any of these games. And it also looks like a blind Darius too, which is incredible. You typically think of Darius in a competitive game as something that you might want to counter into a tank that you can utilize your passive on and, can auto attack them for a long time and build that up for yourself without having the threat of dying so quickly. Those are the matchups that Darius thrives in, but this will just be a blind Darius here for Sandflame. For Sunlight rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a pick that Sunlight's a little bit more comfortable on. In the last times that I've casted this player, he seems to like to play the champions that want to win lane, more aggressive, these types of things. But going to be playing into the Gragas, I assume, a champion that does very much hurt melee top laners that want to kill you, and like things like Jax, like Cassante, all of that kind of stuff. And interested to see how that top lane matchup goes. We have a Ziggs lock-in, so once we see the rearrangement of the picks, we'll know if this is actually a Ziggs mid or a Ziggs bot. There's lots of flex picks here that Guangdong have pulled out, and it's going to be the Lucian bot lane, like you said there, DBZ, with the Yone there blind in the mid lane for Contingent. I say blind because the Zeri could go either or.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go ahead and find out who is where in a moment. And I had my moments. Oh, it's a Ziggs mid. Interesting. Okay, Ziggs mid into the Yone pick. I like it. That's spicy. I like both these drafts. I'm not gonna lie. I have my beef with the Yone. I will always have my beef with the Yone, and we'll get to that probably about 8 minutes into the game. How much I hate that champion, but these matchups all across the board, I'm excited for. I am Sunlight, just blinding the Darius on R3. It's just something that we don't see ever. We haven't seen that high of top priority in a while. So this is insane confidence coming in, and that's what we love to see, especially with like the tonight instance being an elimination game.
Yeah, seriously. And I don't think this is a good matchup for the Darius either.
No.
With Phase Rush, if that is the rune choice that Sandflame wants to go for, then it's going to be very difficult for Darius, even if Ghost is taken in those runes, to be able to catch that Gragas there. And we should be able to space him quite well. And also, just as a side note, the rest of the team here is very mobile from Contingent. Lucian is mobile. Yone is very slippery with the Soul Unbound. Face Sealed can cover great distances. It might be difficult for Darius to lock down these champions if he doesn't have the help of his Leona Maokai. But we're going to assume that he likely will. We're game ready. Let's head into it here, DBZ. And let's see if Contingent can force a game number 3 after they took that L in game number 1. And here we go. Into the game we are. And both teams heading to their respective spots on the map. There's no stack. No team is over prioritizing a volatile matchup by stacking either into the top lane to get a kill, burn a summoner spell. They're just making sure that they have their entrances covered here in game 1. Or sorry, they have their entrances covered in game 2. This is game number 2. We'll update
Yeah.
anyone just joining us today. And again, it is the Guangdong Flying Tigers with that series lead, and they're looking to put their opponents away here.
I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring it down a little bit. So if there's the one thing that Guangdong thrives on, it's absolute and utter chaos, as we saw in the previous game. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of a sleeping giant. This game is where I think they might end up falling a little behind as we get aggressive here. Level
We're gonna see a
1.
level 1 play. Stun goes down onto Miracle, who takes a good
Okay.
amount of damage. And both supports, they take their fair share. But Miracle here is forced to use a potion. Realms is not going to bite on that now. He will. So both
Yeah.
potions burned from these supports. Now, the Leona has the HP advantage, but the Nami has the sustain advantage. Lots of healing available from her. So trades like this, you can see now with that HP that Miracle is able to build up. They're going to have constant priority here in this lane, and we'll see how well Contingent can use that to their advantage.
Yeah, the Lucian Nami is definitely one of those annoying matchups, especially when you're playing it into a double range matchup versus a ranged melee matchup. So in this instance, Realms and Ultio are going to get bullied for a little bit. They'll just get chunked out. It's just how much damage that the Lucian Nami can do. Here in the middle lane, I'm actually surprised. Never mind. No, I should not be surprised that Yoni's getting the push in. Homie has negative mana, and Ziggs really doesn't start clearing till like level 5 or 6, level 5 or 6 is when you could do a pretty good EQ combo on the backline of minions. So Yoni should be pretty annoying and have this advantage here on the top side. I am surprised that we have such a large level lead already here, as Sunlight was just ticking level 3 and Sandflame had just now ticked over to level 2. So this top lane matchup going somewhat differently at the start already. I kind of figured that Sandflame would be a little more abusive, as Winwin has walked into the jungle here.
He has. He's invading the blue buff here, has taken an interesting path, cleared away his raptors, didn't go for the full clear, went to invade Evan Light. This is what that bot lane priority gives you. We're going to see a bit of a scrap here, trading in the HP down here. But all that War Cyclone and Miracle want to do is make sure Wenwen has the ability to find those camps. And that is exactly what happens. The level 4 now for Wenwen gets the blue, gets the Gromp. This is perfect now for the brand, who is 2 camps ahead. And DBZ, Evan Lai, where is he going to go now? He has to like cross to the top scuttle because the scuttle priority down here in the river is all there for Contingent. Excellent start for them. Once again, similar to what we saw in game number 1, they have that early control.
Yep, they definitely have that early control, as Evan Lai will spot out Winwin here. Actually didn't commit for that that top scuttle. I am under the assumption probably that it can maybe get collapsed on, but we did see Titan go over the wall. He's actually playing a lot more aggressive than I thought he would right now. I'm not going to lie. Evan Lai walking into the enemy jungle will see this red buff. I'm actually shocked that Evan Lai has committed all this time to trying to invade, as his mid lane's been getting bullied. That's just the annoyance that is this Yon, and with the soul inbound. And
Your Titan is, well, he's a bit overextended, but there's no real play. They don't have a lot of burst damage yet. Does the Elias combo here? Oh my goodness, Bubble's going to land. War Cyclone flashes forward. We saw first blood across on the top side there for Sunlight. War Cyclone might drop here. It's very close. Can Realms find the damage? Zenith Blade connects. War Cyclone trying to deal with that damage to get the kill. Oh my gosh, it's not quite enough. But Wenwen is here for the trade, 2 for 1 across the map. My goodness, it is getting bloody already, 4 minutes in.
So something happened topside as both summoners were blown on Sunlight. Sandflame died with Flash, so unsure what happened up there. But first blood over to the Darius, and then that bottom lane fight, once that bubble landed, I thought it was over for Ultio there, but was able to survive just long enough. And Leona is incredibly strong with all that fun little damage that she gets off her kids. So Realms getting a kill for themselves as well. But like you also mentioned, Winwin was there on time. Oh, go ahead and knock himself away from the Yon. Could still go for something.
Trouble in the top side though. So here is Sunlight and Evan Lai. They're gonna flash forward. There's the twisted advance. Bramble Smash will send Sandflame back, waiting on that body slam cooldown. But there is the apprehend. There is the auto attack. Sunlight's got 2 kills in the bank. bought that Ionian cooldown boots off rip, which is not something I was ever going to expect a Darius to pull out, but it seems like Sunlight has the tech here. Didn't take the Ghost, took the Ignite in the Summoner spells too, as Wenwen going to cancel the reset, going to be a little annoying for the Darius, but nonetheless, this top lane is going swimmingly here for Guangdong Flying Tigers, looking to play through that top side to continue to advance their lead and sort of mitigate the losses here that Evan Lai has suffered in the jungle.
Dare I curse things? Dare I, dare I? Yea or nay, says ye.
You have the power. You have the power to curse whatever you'd like.
Sandflame was 2-0 in the early game, and they were on red side. Hear me out. Hear me out. Now Sunlight is 2-0 on red side, and Contingent lost that game. Game 3 confirmed, right?
Perhaps, or maybe because you said that, maybe not. I'll counter curse. Maybe not here, DBZ. Maybe this time it's going to be the top lane that wins early on that's going to prevail here. But again, this top side is not how I expected. I expected Gragas to be able to body slam Darius, proc phase rush immediately, run away, win the trade, but maybe it gets really difficult with Apprehend that can pull the Gragas back when he tries to run away. Again, cooldown boots purchased here for Sunlight, so investing in those low cooldowns, trying to catch Sandflame off guard here with those low cooldowns and maybe make this matchup harder than he expected, as Realms is walking into Wenwen, who does have access to the Pyroclasm now. Zenith Blade, though, gonna bring it over once Miracle was forced to use the flash, ticking down with the Ignite. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb, but Miracle is going to step up and avoid dying to that mid laner. Elias from downtown doing his very best Steph Curry impression, but couldn't quite do it because Steph Curry don't miss. He missed that one, but it got very close.
It was very close. Also, shout out to Steph Curry for jumping us like 12 points at the gold game yesterday. My go. Yeah. Anyways, so it was a lot of things that happened at the start of that fight. I wonder what happened to Miracle, or if Miracle was tanking the tower, which is why they took so much damage and Nami was basically one shot. That's probably what happened, but no one ends up dying at the end of that exchange. And this is the chaos I was talking about. This is the chaos that Guangdong thrives off of. And this is the game state that they want to be in. They're only up 400 gold at this moment, about 500-ish. It's mostly coming from the CS leads, you know, in the lead that they have on the top side, which the entire lead is the top side, basically. 1,100 gold in top and down 500 in the jungle. And then it's close everywhere else. Leona getting that first blood earlier does put her ahead. So it's really all their lead is in top lane at this moment, pretty much. And for here, with the bottom lane being as aggressive, oh, hold on a second. Sandflame should just walk away from this. Does have no mana. Brand is coming, though, so there is a little bit of shenanigans about to come our way.
Always have to be careful of a Darius, though. We've even seen in the LPL, I think it was Chingtian's Darius for Top Esports a long time ago that had that triple kill 1 versus 3. It's very difficult and scary to gank Sunlight. Now, I did see with the way that he traded earlier there, as I'll hold that thought because we have a fight in the bot side. The bubble is going to miss. Altio did commit the lightning crash. Remember, no flash available here for Miracle. Those last little auto attacks, can it be enough here for Altio? Can it commit the barrier to keep himself alive there from War Cyclone, who's going to use the cleanse to try and get away? Evan Lai with the ultimate there is going to finish off the Nami and going to get the double kill there with the sapling as well, and this whole wave will be denied. And this is perfect here for GFT, but wait a second here. Sunlight is playing cheeky here inside of the brush, going to look for this solo kill. Sandflame is low on mana, does not have the ultimate either. The Black Forge will land. That Q ability there going to get himself the healing. The Ignite is going to be used as well. Can he take down with
I think he's dead.
With the passive? Is he going to die to this? He is. Oh my gosh. Sunlight, you mastermind, calculating that damage perfectly. Oh my goodness. Chef's kiss. Adam would be proud.
Oh, hell yes, Adam would indeed be proud. Just absolutely baited Sandflame, not knowing that sitting there in that bush. And then Sandflame used all of their mana, and that's when Sunlight immediately hit the go button, knowing that those abilities were not available. It's just Sunlight just absolutely perfect with the passive on top of the Ignite as well. Insane gameplay that was there. 3-0 on this Darius as we're going for this Drake. It is the first Drake of the game, 10 minutes in, and it looks like GFT are actually going to peel off. I'm surprised.
And I completely forgot, DBZ, we forgot our soul predictions. So we got a little bit of an easier time, as I'll hold that thought, because Elias is getting hit here. The Q3 lands from Titan, but the satchel will get him away. We do know now that it won't be a Mountain Soul, so our prediction comes a little bit easier. But I'm going to guess that Chemtech Soul. Go, DBZ, right now before this fight. What is your Soul prediction?
Screw it. Ocean Soul. Why not?
Ocean Soul it is. DBZ is Ocean Soul. I am Chemtech Soul. And what I was going to say before that bot lane play happened was I can see the trade pattern now for Sunlight with the cooldown boots. What he's doing is he's using Apprehend to short trade on the Gragas before he can use Body Slam to get away. That is E auto reset plus Q, and then you win the trade before Gragas can really get damage back. And with the lower cooldowns, you can get that trade more often, and that is what is setting him up for these favorable advantages in these 1v1s as well. I was saying that. Mountain Drake secured, and your prediction is off the board there. So not the full amount of shame, but I mean, hey, we didn't predict until, you know, that first Mountain Drake showed. So you made the rules here. Are you getting shamed here, DBZ?
Not really, because it's not the start of the game. But I'm also incredibly used to you losing it. Our prod could confirm that I am terrible at my own game.
And there's that trade that I was just talking about. The quick short trade onto Sandflame, chipping away his HP so that he is vulnerable to that all-in. And now the next trio of grubs has spawned. Remember, it was Contingent. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Wenwen might have thought that was going to burn away, or was afraid of maybe Evan Lai's presence. But here comes the Nature's Grasp. It's going to land onto Wenwen. Does have flash. The Mega Inferno Bomb will land. That's an excellent combination here. Isn't even going to have to use the flash because he's dead before he finds the opportunity. Elias with the bomb finishes that kill, and it's grubs on the menu here for Guangdong Flying Tigers, as Altio is 2v1 here in the bot side. Elias is going to get involved as well, but Altio just heat checks and wins that 1v1. That's a 1v2 here, and the next one will go their way as well. The trade is kill, or the trade back is there, but it's Miracle that gets the kill instead.
Wow, absolutely nuts of fight. Altio knowing their damage just better, but we're gonna take it all the way back to that Grubs fight as they were now split 3-3. Just Wenwen just not knowing that the Scuttle Crab wasn't taken. Probably didn't know either that Evan Lai was in the area. Ends up getting collapsed on. As you said, Elias picking up that kill. We're sitting with the Blackfire touch 2-0. Down CS, but you're actually not too bad about that, as looks like that Sunlight is getting a little cheeky here. Didn't actually end up losing that trade.
Nope, just trying to find as many opportunities as he can, building Trinity Force here with the Phage and the Sheen. There's a lot of different things that Adarius can build, and it looks like Trinity Force is going to be the choice here for Sunlight up here. And Wenwen and Miracle waiting for an opportunity to make a play onto Elias, who does have the flash. The satchel going to get him to safety. Does the stun land? It does, but here is Realms to help him out. But there's an excellent bubble from Miracle, and they combo the CC, and he will drop. Titan does not die. The healing from Miracle is there. Going to be Titan's Miracle in that play. It's a 1-for-0 there. Getting something back is Contingent.
Yeah, Elias, I just think probably just not respecting the amount of follow-up that they had, and the second the Yone ult landed, I knew it was Jover from there, and unfortunately does end up losing their life. That shutdown went over to the Brand, I believe. I think that's who it went to. Actually,
I think so. I think
so too. So sitting on currently the Leandys right now, I believe it was finished before that fight, but getting more and more in the tank of being that annoyance. I will casually just point out that Blabber earlier today also played the Brand, was doing a lot of damage, because that's what Brand does. This champion has been obnoxious since the changes to that item, and continuing the show. And Wenwen right now feeling pretty good about their position, will not decide to go for the Rift Herald here. I do assume knowing where Evan Lai is, as there is a potential bottom lane play here. Probably could go for it, but Nami is here and Cleanse is up.
Look at the positioning of Realms and Elias here. They're hovering around that mid lane. Altio is consistently getting this wave in, knows that Evan Lai is here in case both War Cyclone and Miracle want to engage onto him. And with Static Shiv, that clear is accelerated. Wenwen recognizes that Evan Lai is on the other side of the map, and so will utilize this time to take away the Rift Herald. On the other side, Evan Lai going to steal away some camps. And so both junglers, they are doing some trades of their own, and we'll see in the coming minutes how Contingent can utilize this Rift Herald for themselves, as it does look like we do have an ultimate there. That is the Solar Flare going down. The culling utilized as well there from War Cyclone. On the other sort of
here
mid
too.
portion of the map, it was Elias who got into an altercation there with Titan. But now let's focus on the bot lane play. The War Cyclone forced to use that cleanse to get out of the way.
Here comes the Gragas.
In goes Altio there with the lightning crash. An excellent bubble will trade that kill back. Here is Sandflame to join the play. The flash there from Evanline will reposition himself so the exploding cast does not send him back into the turret. The turret is very low. They're going to focus.
Get the tower.
Crashes forward, does hit that first bit of damage here. The Zenith Blade lands onto Sandflame, and then Elias picks up that kill on the backside when finished off his jungle counterpart in Evan Lai. And it was the mid lane tower taken and the top lane tower taken. DBZ all over the map. There's things to talk about.
Oh my goodness, where do we even begin? It starts with that dive in the bottom lane and the TP response from Sandflame, knowing that Sunlight cannot answer. However, that does leave Sunlight alone in the top lane to get that tower. First tower, I believe, fell in the middle lane. There was just a lot of action that happened everywhere, but we're getting a little cheeky now as Miracle is up here, Win-Win in the area as well. It's like a barely 2,000-ish, like 2.7k gold for the side of GFT. These fights always feel so close, regardless of how the gold is. The Sunlight is going to have to back off of this tower. Probably will not even bother because the rest of the team is on the other side of the map. The Ocean Soul is also going down in response as well. So they should... Oh, it reset, but that shouldn't really matter that much. And from here, I think we just keep it as business as usual. We keep scaling, we keep calling the fights on our terms, force CES to response, and that's the one thing that, like I said, GFT is good at. It's chaos.
It certainly is, and they've been keeping this game chaotic, so it's the tier 1 trade in the top lane for the Ocean Drake, and it is going to be a Cloud Soul. I should have predicted Cloud this time around. Should have doubled down and went 2 games in a row, but I predicted the Chemtech. I did not get that right. Both you and I are 0 for 2 on the day, as now mid lane priority is on the cards for both of these teams. Sandflame is here as well. We have all 5 members of Contingent that are here and ready to defend this tower. But all the meanwhile, Sunlight, remember, does not have the Unleashed Teleport, decided to take Ignite in the runes here. So has to pick and choose his time in the side lanes wisely and think to himself when he needs to split push, when he needs to group with his team. And with no objectives up at the moment, Sunlight can sit in this top side, try to deny as much CS as possible, but Titan is here to collect that wave. And Titan is slowly accumulating power here as it looks like Sunlight, who did just get hit by that W ability. Titan has Q3. They're not going to use it. Sunlight going to waltz away from that one. Intention building around this mid lane DBZ. GFT really want this objective.
Understandably so, is they're actually going to force the play.
Here comes the Nature's Grasp. It's going to hit War Cyclone. The Mega Inferno Bomb, huge, and pop goes the Weasel. Miracle is gone. The culling used, but the Satchel will interrupt it. So Altio gets out safely. It's a 1 for 0, and the tower should be soon to drop now that the resets have to come through and the Satchel charge is available to execute that tower. But on the other side of the map, Sandflame gets the tier 1.
Yep, but the mid lane tower will be falling very shortly as, okay, got a little, okay, never mind, we're still fighting actually.
Played here onto, who is this target? It's Win-Win walking into the entirety of GFT's team and will pay for his sins. That's a kill going the way once again of GFT. They take full control of this topside jungle.
And they should, start getting this vision down. Actually, I think the Leone's backing does not have any wards at the moment, but will be wanting to reset, get some vision down, gets a little bit of topside vision as Titan.
There is the Fade Seal that's going to land. There's the bubble as well. This is a big shutdown for Titan. If he can find it, can the kill come through? But Sunlight crashes into the wall. The Soul Unbound from Titan to try and pursue, but he can't close the gap. And Sunlight, that was a hairy situation, but able to snake his way out of that one.
Oh my goodness, Phase Rush with the flash as well. That is one speedy Darius. Sunlight able to get out of that, what I thought would have been a disaster situation. A shutdown that big going over to Yone would not have been good, but heads up play from Sunlight. Good flashing, good proccing of the Phase Rush as well to be able to get out of the situation and not give over the Baron, as it is now spawned on the map. We're just all over the place.
We really are. And let's talk a little bit about this bot lane. I feel like we haven't talked about it a whole lot this time around, but the lane phase actually went quite nicely there for Altio and Realms. Typically, as Illusion Nami bot lane in War Cyclone and Miracle, you're going to have an easy time into Zeri, who doesn't have a lot of damage early on, very low range, which you like. But it's been quite the easy time here for Altio, all things considered. Has come out with a CS advantage, 2 kills in his pocket, set up for this late game power spike. And we're going to work towards either that armor penetration item or the Infinity Edge. I assume it's going to be Infinity Edge, not a whole lot of abundance of tank champions here on the side of Contingent, but there is the Rift Herald gonna waltz her way while back and forth, heading towards that turret. Sunlight's gonna spot it. He's like, is this bait? He's thinking about it. He's like, who's waiting in this bush, maybe trying to kill me here? Or is he just letting the Rift Herald kill these minions, though, so he denies a little bit of gold and XP away from his opponents? I think that's the mindset.
That might be it, but
does it get a charge, though?
Oh, it does.
It's going to get a charge, though. Oh, my gosh.
Oh. I think it was out of respect, as actually we're getting a play in the mid lane.
Nature's Grasp. Look at the damage onto Miracle. That combo. Nature's Grasp and the Mega Inferno Bomb is actually quite the cook here in the draft from GFT. They're not done yet. Zenith Blade onto Wenwin, who uses the flash, but the Zenith Blade will follow him. Solar Flare stun lands. Wenwin will land the stun here to stop Realms engage for the moment, but there is going to be a twisted advance, and now Altio, does he have the space to find the kill? Yes, he does. Going to flash forward, but on the other side, Sandflame is going to drop. It's actually going to be a double kill because Miracle dropped there as well. The Fate Sealed is going to be blocked here by Evan Lai, but the Calling's going to be able to finish off that kill into the Soul Unbound. Goes, and the Sun off the kill, but he flashed a little bit too far forward. Elias now going to drop. No, he's not. He's going to finish off the kill. Here's Sandflame on the backside. We'll make this a 4-for-4 all around. Oh my goodness. A little bit of misplays, but we got ourselves a bloody mid lane exchange.
Holy mackerel, a 4-for-4 at the end of that play. Shutdowns going every which way. Oh my lord, War Cyclone getting a really good couple of kills there at the end of that fight, but I don't even know where to start. It was insane. Every ultimate, besides the actually the Mega Inferno Bomb was before at the start, but every ultimate was blown. Nearly every flash was blown. These two teams are just duking it out, and at the top of the day, we said everything is on the line right now. This is an elimination game. And the fact that we're getting our own little slice of the LPL is just so satisfying right now.
It certainly is. And I do have to favor, with a team fight where multiple flashes are down for the side of Contingent, it's all but Titan who are flashless for this next potential dragon fight, which is live on the map right now with so much CC available here for Guangdong. They have the Solar Flare, they have Nature's Grasp, Twisted Advance, all these types of things that can lock down the squishy members of Contingent. Without their flashes available, it can become very difficult to fight into this GFT squad, especially when they have control of the river for the moment. They're delegating Altio right now with the Static Shiv to clear this away, and the Runon's Hurricane, which does an excellent job as well. But what they do have to be careful of here is a Baron trade. At a full commit for the Cloud Drake, then it could be Contingent here to turn right onto this objective and try and force something, which they're taking control of the river now. Evan Lai is going to solo down the dragon here, but it's not going to be a Baron start for Contingent. They're going to give away this Cloud Drake.
They were posturing for a moment like they were going to come down for the Drake, as they will be indicated that it was taken. Actually, it looks like we're getting an engage from the top side.
Engage onto Realms. That's an excellent Solar Flare onto 2. The Apprehend is going to pull Sandflame over the wall, and the Fate Sealed, though, is going to bring Titan over as well. It's a 1-for-0 for Contingent. Make that a 1-for-1 because Miracle drops on the backside of the fight off of the screen, and now Contingent in a little bit of a sticky situation here. They're on the opposite side of the map from GFT, who can now start to push that mid wave, get control, threaten this tier 2, but the same can be done on the other side as well. They can threaten the tier 2 Contingent there in the top side, and Titan is going to push that wave and do so.
Looks like we might just get a Zigzalt to clear the next wave. He's being pinged right now, so I think Titan should just end up backing off. But this tier 2 in the mid lane is going to get a little bit of a slacking, but not too much will come out, as the fear of the collapse was spotted as Wenwin would walk over the ward. And we're fizzling out from all that action. We're going to have much needed build up once again, as the next objective on the map will be the Baron, most likely. I mean, these two teams, like I said, these two teams just have been slugging it out just minute after minute. We're 29 kills and 25 minutes, almost over a kill a minute, and we're just posturing now. We're just posturing at this top side. We're waiting for ultimates to come back up. I imagine the Nature's Grasp will be GFT's next go button, and in that time, it's like, okay, how do we respond from there? Unless I'm proven wrong. I'm not proven wrong, so never mind. Ooh, it's tense, man.
It's tense. Around this Baron, both of these teams are playing towards this Baron's side, rather. They're getting control of the mid lane, and they're trying to get in as much vision as they possibly can. Realm's going to drop that ward. It's going to be immediately cleared. 2 sweepers were committed here from Contingent. Altio has great mid lane clear. Rudon's Hurricane Static Shiv Zeri is no joke, working towards what looks like an armor penetration item, the Noon Quiver, and that Cloak of Agility. It could be, I think it's going to be an LDR, could be a mortal reminder as well if they're worried about the Nami and the Yone healing. So for the moment now, GFT, they have priority here. They're waiting for a go button. They're waiting for Contingent to walk too far forward and overstep their welcome. Let's look at the flash cooldowns here, DBZ. We have Miracle, who has flashback. Titan has it. Wenwen has it. Sandflame has it. So flashes are back here for the Contingent side that they can work with in another fight. As okay, hold on a second. It was Elias. Had to burn a flash of his own there. Titan did commit. The fate sealed. And this is the go button now.
Here we go.
For GFT. They believe now with the Yone ult down, that is a good amount of team fighting power that has been taken away here from CES. Wenwin's has to try and find a good Pyroclasm. Here's the Nature's Grass now going to be committed. They're going to keep damage here onto the Baron, but they're actually going to let it reset now and look potentially for the fight. Cleanse used. Elias used the Unleashed Teleport to join the rest of the fight. They're walking back and forth here. There's so much tension being built up, but Realms is looking to break that tension. Can't quite do it because Wenwin commits the flash from the Zenith Blade. There's the calling here. It's going to chunk Realms to about 70% HP on the other side. Tier 2 was taken from the Yone, and the push now continues in the mid lane. And that's going to be it. So honestly, I think that's pretty good for the side of Contingent. They get that tower.
I definitely agree with you. They get the tier 2. They get the Leona flash out as well. Prior to that, Elias also had to burn flashes. We're not done.
And we're going. Sandflame is in it to win it. There's an excellent cast that's going to send Evan Lion to an unfavorable position. But there is the Solar Flare that lands onto War Cyclone, and he's the first here to drop Altio in a dangerous position, but he's able to buy himself some space, and now the fight is all GFT, and CES are crushed under their might. It's only Titan to live. That bomb is going to miss. Sunlight is in pursuit of the CES mid laner. He's trying to work his way around this wall here. The recall being channeled, but the Q3 is available. Look at that Warmog's healing. Sunlight is laughing in his face. The Apprehend going to be used. Short trade. Soul Unbound is going to be pulled back here. Now Titan going to try and hit the wave here to build up that Q3. Sunlight is just sitting here saying, hey man, you stand still here. My team does the Baron. We are going to be having ourselves a grand old time. At least I am, because I'm on the winning end of this play. And he's chasing him. Sunlight saying, hey man, you can't touch me, bro. You can't touch this. And I'm going to sit here and make sure you don't do anything crazy. But now the fight is going to break out. It is a level 16 advantage here for Titan. The Baron is taken. Sunlight might just be waiting for his team to come through, but it's actually Titan who has a teammate arriving. The Fate Shield is going to land, doing a lot of damage here onto Sunlight, who is going to proc that Stair Gauge, get a good amount of killing. The Q3 will not land. Sandflame now with the Body Slam. Not quite going to land. The Apprehend. There's the healing. Sunlight with the Phase Rush. Not quite going to get the correct angle there on the explosive class. The healing is there, but this should be the kill. Body Slam. Sandflame finishes it off.
Little bit too much BM there out of Sunlight. Just stalling out the Yone from being able to join or do anything in that lane, but unfortunately the TP was up from the Gragas.
Evan Lai is getting hit by a few abilities here, forced to use the Nature's Grass defensively, but there's the tidal wave that's going to land. Evan Lai does not have flash, but Wenman's taking a lot of damage as well. Evan Lai is burning down, but I think he has enough HP to survive. They're fighting over this control here in the bot side jungle, but it's going to fizzle out there. The Cloud Drake is up and available for these teams, DBZ, but Wenwin is so low. Do they think they have what it takes to start this one up? It looks like they might.
They can, yeah. Red buff healing, and you have the Nami attached to you as well. They're actually willing to give this up, which makes sense. Cloud and Chemtech are the two Drakes that are usually the least popular and least like contested, if that makes any sense. So they're willing to give that up. They're going to go ahead and take some mid prio instead, get us some top side vision. Even though we're 4 minutes away from the Baron, the Baron should be falling off in about a minute. So just getting a little bit of, oh, hello.
Titan gonna trade some damage onto Realms. I also want to point out 22 stacks on the Medjai Soul Stealer here for Elias. His damage is incredible, so they're looking for those CC combinations, but there's a Fate Seal that's going to land onto Elias, who does not have flash, going to try and get away from this one, and they are going to successfully disengage, but Altio here on the other side of the fight is getting very dangerously low, going to tick down to the Leandry's burn, and that is going to be a pick for Contingent. Excellent work from them as a team.
Yep, the shutdown goes over to the brand, whose 3 items, just want to casually point out. So this brand is burning. Oh lord, he a burning, doing a lot of damage, as we just saw that tick damage, giving the shutdown over. Now from here, I mean, there's not too much to do on the map. It does end the Baron in a negative power. I would say it's a negative Baron power play at the end of all that, with that shutdown going over, and they're going to lose this tier 2 here. While Darius is splitting on the other side, so someone does have to answer him on that front. But we're getting an engage on the top side.
Grasp, look at the Mega Inferno Bomb. Oh my gosh, that damage! That's what I'm talking about there, DBZ. That Magi is doing its work here. War Cyclone putting enough damage into Realm to force him away for the moment, but it's once again going to be Elias that's going to find the snipe onto Miracle. Sandflame going to use the cast to try and buy himself some space, and we'll be able to do that. But my gosh, this Ziggs is absolutely torching these team fights with those grenades.
I didn't even consider this Maokai Ziggs combo as actually, I think...
War Cyclone, you're in trouble here. Stun lands, forced to use the cleanse. Zenith Blade is used, but there's the twisted advance. Took a greedy recall, and this could be detrimental now for Contingent Esports. Onto that middle inhibitor goes GFT, and they are going to be able to secure this one. They have a bot wave pushing as well, and it looks like they are going to usher that in, and with the 5v4 for the moment, look to continue the siege onto this inhibitor tower. And what does Contingent Esports have left in the tank to try and defend this? Realms is a bit staggered from the rest of the team over the wall here, but they are now going to join him. Solar Flare, not quite going to land onto Titan. The Q3 will buy himself some space, but there's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Combine it with the Lightning Crash, and Altio has himself the first kill of the fight here and is untouched in this team fight. Has a double kill, another for Elias. This should be game, DBZ, and it's GFT who's taking this 2-0 victory and sending Contingent home.
This is the end for Contingents in GFT. Guangdong Flying Tigers came through. It was a slap fest, but they end up taking the series 2-0, and they move on to the next set of the GSL stage. That was incredible. Maokai Ziggs, that combo was...
It was insane.
It was insane. 100-0ing people, pretty much. I'm at a loss for, well, I'm not at a loss for words because I'm yapping about it, but it's just, it was a lot of fun to watch, and just how good they played these fights. And you said it during game 1, the GFT are very good at team fighting. We saw that their target selection is incredible and showing why they deserve to keep going in this tournament. But unfortunately, we say goodbye to Contingent Esports for this stage. But I think you hold your heads high. They still played pretty well themselves. But Jesus, these two teams, they just kept swinging, man.
Oh yeah, kept swinging. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, whatever you want, whatever boxer, MMA fighter you want to shout out. That's what was going on here. Contingent is heading home in Guangdong. They proved to everyone watching that they are a team to be feared in this qualifier. They had the unfortunate loss to Reluminate, and they bounced back here, showing a strong performance in both games. I also like, Sunlight and his Darius pick. That was quite incredible. I love the tech. We talked about the Maokai Ziggs. So effective into a squishy team composition that Contingent drafted. Lucian, Nami. Lucian had cleanse to get away from the majority of those combinations, but Nami had nothing. And the health bars were just evaporating off of those combinations, and they really got everything they wanted. There was a few hiccups in the game, some signs of life from Contingent, but in the very end, it wasn't going to be enough. And in the end, Guangdong Flying Tigers will move on in Group D. They will face the losers of the match that is above them in the bracket, and their hopes for a gauntlet appearance, if they go on to win the whole thing, are still alive there, DBZ. And that is going to wrap up this match for us here on the Salt Mine. DBZ, man, I had a great time casting with you today. I really hope we do some more casts in the future, man. It's been an absolute blast. Anything you want to say to everyone watching today before we sign off?
So there's two things I gotta say. First up, thank you, Slayer, for shooting the invite my way. I love being on the Salt Mine. It's great. I'm glad that you guys think I'm worthy enough to come back. I am
Heck
humbled
yeah.
by that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then Chippy, our production. We can never forget our production. Thank you, Chippy, for the amazing views, the amazing vision toggles, and the
Oh yeah.
amazing angles for the fights. I'm tongue tied, as you can tell.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out Chippy on production. Shout out to everyone who is watching the stream today. We hope you enjoyed the games as much as DBZ and I did. And for us on the Salt Mine, that is going to do it for today. We hope to see you in the future. Hope you have a great week and a great rest of your night. But for now, we are signing off. Have a good one, everyone, and we will see you in the next one.